The start of the Chinese Grand Prix was ambiguous for the Mercedes team. Similar to other teams, they lacked sufficient time for adjustments on their car, especially given its susceptibility to weather conditions. A single practice session followed immediately by qualifying for the sprint race made things even more tangled, but it was precisely under these conditions that Mercedes managed to achieve their best result. Lewis Hamilton ended the wet, qualifying for the sprint race in second position. According to him, the rain was the only chance to have a good qualifying session, as on a dry track, the W15 can't compete with Red Bull, Ferrari and McLaren. The sprint race also turned out positively for Mercedes. Hamilton finished second, achieving his best result of the season so far. He had a good start, overtaking Lando Norris for position, maintaining a decent pace that prevented other drivers from catching up, and only Max Verstappen in the RB20 managed to pass him and take the lead. However, it was expected that qualifying for the Grand Prix would not be as successful. Conditions and track improved, and the W15 couldn't compete with its rivals. In the hands of George Russell, the Mercedes car secured the 8th starting position, as anticipated, but the 18th starting position for Lewis Hamilton became a painful setback after a successful sprint. Here's how Lewis himself commented on his performance. "I don't blame anything on the team. I think not my best qualifying laps. Shit happens, you know. Sometimes you get it right, sometimes you don't. To be sat on the front row for the sprint was a great feeling. Racing into turn 1 and taking the lead reminded me of what I love so much about this sport. It was a challenging race, but to get second was great. We knew qualifying would be much more tough this afternoon though. I made some sizable setup changes after the sprint to try and improve the car in the slow speed turns. It wasn't too bad in some corners, but I struggled elsewhere. It was challenging to get the rear tires to stop into turn 14, and that's where I locked up on my final lap. If I hadn't had that, I would have made it through to Q2. I'll be giving it my best shot tomorrow. We can still have some fun even if we are starting from P18. The problems with the car persist and lead to further disappointments. The car's inadequate performance prompts the Mercedes drivers to experiment with settings, which doesn't always end successfully. But right now, there's no other choice. Mercedes refuses to settle for mid-pack battles. They only crave victories. Hence, the all-or-nothing tactic is clear, but whether it will pay off remains to be seen.